Everyone. Today is Tuesday, December 15th. This is a regularly scheduled City Council meeting. Could we all please rise and begin the meeting with the prayer as we always do. Dear God, today as this session opens, we pray that your presence before us and everyone who serves in the decision-making process of our city. We pray for direction which will lead our city to be strong and unified. May we continue the legacy of our founders. May we be granted this day the wisdom to make decisions which will be for the good of our city. We also pray for your special blessing on all those who are working to transform our city to make it a better place to live and work. Amen. We now please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Mayor Elliott.
Here.
Counsel Kennedy. Here. Counsel Leahy.
Here.
Counsel Martin.
Here.
Counsel Mercia.
Here.
Counsel Milanazzo.
Here.
Counsel Rourke.
Here.
Counsel Samaras.
Here.
Counsel Belanger.
Here.
It's 9 present.
9 present. No moments of silences this evening? Okay. Before we begin the mayor's business, I'd just like to ask to suspend the rules to present a citation and honor a member of our community. His name is Yadi Levan. He is a master ceramic artist in the community, and he was recognized by the National Endowment for the Arts National Heritage Fellowship. Motion by Council Mercia, seconded by Council Milanazzo, to suspend the rules. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, motion carries. Mr. Levan, if you could come to the podium. Vanna, maybe you could escort him. We have Vanna Howard from Congresswoman Songers's office. And so, Mr. Yadi, on behalf of the city, we learned of your national recognition. Yadi Levan received a $25,000 endowment. He was awarded the money to do anything that he particularly wanted to do with it. And on behalf of the city, we'd like to recognize you for your achievement on behalf of the city. And I'd like to read the citation to you, and it describes your work and contributions to the community in the area of ceramics. Citation: be it hereby known to all that the City of Lowell and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we hereby offer our sincere congratulations to Cambodian master ceramist Yadi Levan as a winner, one of the winners of a $25,000 National Endowment for the Arts National Heritage Fellowship. The National Endowment for the Arts National Heritage Fellowships recognizes the recipients' artistic excellence and supports their continuing contributions to our nation's folk and traditional arts. These fellowships are the nation's highest honor in the folk and traditional arts. Yadi is one of 3 survivors of his generation of artists trained in the traditional Khmer ceramics at the Royal Academy of Fine Arts in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. He arrived in the U.S. in 2001, and since that time he has shared his culture with many, has taught ceramic classes at a number of Lowell schools. His wood-fired kiln, located at the Lowell National Historic Park, allows him to share the traditional techniques as part of Middlesex Community College courses and the national parks public programs. Yadi, now therefore, I, Mayor Rodney M. Elliott, on behalf of all my colleagues and the 108,000 people in the city of Lowell, we want to congratulate you on this accomplishment. It is the city's Lowell sincere hope that you will continue to share and teach your knowledge of ceramics with all. Given on this 15th day of October 2015, on behalf of myself, the city administration, and the entire city council, we thank you and we congratulate you for your contributions.
Thank you so much.
Can you say a few words? Oh, sure. You can take a picture.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you so much for city recognize my artwork, and I become to here like 14 year already. The United States. The first day in Lowell, and Lowell they give me a lot of opportunity for I continue for work, stay with my artwork. And because my whole life I like clay, because clay look like my life. Because the clay, they have 4 elements look like the human. They have to air, they become to the good pieces. From clay, we need dirt, we need the air, we need the heat, and need water look like the human. And then I put in my idea, my brain, and my artwork become a life. And all my artwork, I stay on my tradition, Cambodia. And I try to share with the people. I learn from everyone, everywhere. And from the street, from the school. I learn English from the kindergarten. And I teach them how to make clay bag. And right now I still teaching at Pine Art School. And I teaching at Middlesex College about the ceramic class. And everybody enjoys. I try. A lot of people like very happy in my class. And after I get the award, made me a little bit harder, because I still think after I get the award, how I do that. I have to work more hard, and continue, and until my life's gone, I have to keep my hand working until my hand stop working. And the final, I want to say thank you for everyone, and thank you for May, Elliot, and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thank you, Mr. Levon, and congratulations on National Award. So continuing on from last week, we still have a couple of awards that we'd like to give out. Is there someone here from Hypertext Cafe and Bookstore? Yes? Oh, wonderful. Please. Congratulations on winning the window decorating contest. And if you could please come to the podium, we have a citation I'd like to read and hand to you. Be it hereby known to all that the City of Lowell and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we hereby offer our sincere gratitude and congratulations to Hypertext Cafe and Bookstore for your window decorating during the City Lights Parade and celebration. Your beautifully decorated storefront was a wonderful addition to the holiday atmosphere during this year's parade. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Rodney M. Elliott, on behalf of all my colleagues in government and the city administration, we congratulate you on your first place win. We thank you for your partnership with the city to help make this event very special, given on the 15th day of December 2015. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just please come drink coffee and buy books. That's all I can say. Thank you. Actually, we're very excited. My sister and I are opening the store together. We're very excited to add this particular store in the downtown scene. It's something that we've missed as being residents here for about 10 years. So we're very excited. So anyway, just the community's been very welcoming. So thank you.
So the next award we have, again from the City Lights, we have the People's Choice Award. Mr. Saber, could you please come on up? Mr. Saber is the owner of Bishop Legacy Restaurant. We also want to congratulate you on the People's Choice Award from the 2015 City Lights Parade and Celebration Window Decorating Contest. On behalf of the city, congratulations. We have a wonderful plaque for you. Appreciate it.
just thank you very much. You know, we've been here just under a year now, and we've always felt welcome, and we feel like we're part of the city now, and we'll continue to be there. So thank you very much. We appreciate this.
Thank you, Mr. Saber. Certainly last but not least, we have parade from the parade, the float contest. Last week, this goes to the Lowell High School Fine Arts Department. They could not be here. We had the headmaster here, and do we have all of the participants? They were not here because they were being sworn in or participating in National Honor Society. Correct? So with that, I'm proud of this one because this is the Mayor's Award for the best of the parade. The award goes to Lowell High School Fine Arts Department. Congratulations. Did a wonderful job on the float, and hopefully you'll be there again next year. I won't be the mayor, but I'll be advocating for you.
I'll get a picture of the kids. Thank you. Thanks, Dan. No, I don't. Get a picture of you guys with the mayor. I don't need to. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great. Super. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Come to the musical. It's gonna be pretty cool.
May 6th and 7th, 7 p.m. Yeah.
So maybe you could just describe real briefly at home the float and what it was all about, because you're going to be performing.
Sure. So the float was, we had the main characters from the musical on the float represented by students. And for one side of the float, we had like the chalkboard to represent the nerds.
Yeah.
And then the other side was the curtain for the drama department.
For all the theater thespian kids. And then in the middle, we had a basketball hoop with the jocks, because those are the 3 main cliques represented within the movie.
And the musical.
Yeah, in the musical.
Yeah.
So just come see it.
High School
Yeah.
Musical.
Yeah.
So when is it? When are the
May 6th and 7th,
6th and the 7th? What time and where?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. at the
Lowell High School.
Lowell High School Auditorium. All right. Well, great job, and this was a good plug for your musical. So hopefully you'll get some people to go too.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
So that concludes the mayor's business and presentation of awards from the City Lights Parade.
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to recognize a outstanding student in the chamber tonight, a future leader of Lowell, Ella McInespy, an outstanding student at the
All
Immaculate
right, come on up,
Conception
stand up.
School.
We got to see you. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. With that concludes, again, the mayor's business. We'll move on to the city clerk. Anything further? Okay, thank you. Have a wonderful night and happy holidays. We have minutes from the City Council meeting of December 8th for acceptance. Motion by Councilor Belanger, second by Councilor Kennedy, to accept and place on file. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We move on to the next item under the city clerk. There is a vote to cancel city council meetings during Christmas week and New Year's Eve. This requires two readings. Second reading to cancel meetings of December 22nd and December 29th pursuant to Rule 5. Regular meetings of the rules of the City Council, Planning Charter, Organization of the City of Lowell, and the City Council has the authority to cancel meetings. It is proposed to cancel meetings dated December 22 and December 29. Be it hereby voted by the City Council, City of Lowell, by a majority of vote as follows. That pursuant to Rule 5 of the rules of the City Council, Planning Charter of the Organization of the City Council, meetings dated 22 and 29 are hereby canceled. Motion to approve by Council Leahy, seconded by Council Martin. Roll call.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy. Yes. Council Leahy.
Yes.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milanazzo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
It's 9 yeas.
9 yeas, motion passed.
Council Samaras.
Council Samaras?
Yes. Oh, excuse me.
Now it's 9 yeas.
Now, it's-
Move on. Next item is, we'll move on to section 3. We have unfinished business. There is an order of taking and acceptance of 80 Way and Eklund Drive. Motion to waive the full reading of this by Councilor Mercia, seconded by Councilor Milonazo. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed, motion passes. Second reading by title. In City Council is an order of taking and acceptance of 80 Way and Eklund Drive to take by eminent domain and fee certain parcels of land in the city of Lowell for municipal purposes, to wit, the layout and acceptance of 80 Way and Eklund Drive and other municipal purposes associated therewith. What is the wish of the body?
Move approval.
Move approval by Council Mercia, second by Council Rourke. Discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milonazo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
That's 9 yeas.
9 yeas. We have a general public hearing scheduled for 7 p.m., but it's not 7 p.m., so we'll just proceed with the next section of the agenda, which is communications from the city manager. There are motion responses A through G. We'll begin with motion response from the city manager. A, Belvedere Beautification Project. Comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, we'll move on to B. Motion response B, no parking sign on Westford Street. Seeing none, no questions. We'll move on to motion response C, assessment of streetlights. Council Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. I want to thank the city manager for this report. This report is about the assessment of existing lighting levels in the city and the neighborhoods. I think the information that this provides is good for the neighborhood leaders. And I'd ask Mr. Manager if this possibly could be put in the hands of Mike Damaris so we can give this to the various neighborhood leaders, because the issue of lighting is quite often a common subject that's spoken of. And so this will let them know the type of work that's being done by this city to ensure that our neighborhoods are well lit. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion, questions on motion response C? Seeing none, we'll move on to motion response D. Response on a charter change. Councilor Mercia. No. Councilor Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, to you, thank you. This was a good motion. The city council, I think, took a look at this reason, being one candidate over the limit, where we had to have a preliminary election to the tune of almost $100,000 to the city. And some feel that is perhaps a little exuberant to eliminate one candidate, and I would agree. So, Mr. Mayor, through you to the manager, Mr. Manager, maybe I'm looking for more layman's terms on this, if you will. So being an attorney, now, I'm just going to give a possible scenario. If there's 50 signatures required to be in the city council ballot. Now, if it was the goal, I'm just speaking to raise it to 100. What would so that would need a vote from the council, then the delegation would take it to the State House for a vote? Could you just clarify this both for me and the folks at home? That would be great.
I think I'll defer to the city solicitor. She's done all the research. I want to make sure that each answer is stated properly.
That would be better. Thank you.
Madam Solicitor.
Madam Solicitor, do you understand the question? Would you like to me repeat?
As I understand the question, is your question really just any alteration of our current system of election and election methods?
Well, no, not so much, because it could get complicated. I mean, there's districts, and I'm just talking now, if we would like to raise the amount of signatures from 50 to, say, 100, again, I'm just speaking for myself, not, what would be involved there?
Well, again, any change to the procedures currently prescribed by our methods of election would require a formal alteration. What was looked at in this particular case was the number of candidates required to trigger a preliminary election. But any of those types of changes, whether it would be these are the types of things that have been looked at in the past, term limits, strong mayors, things of that nature, any of those would require, as well as a change as to what was necessary for signatures and ballot requirements. Now, it may also be that the question that you've posed is one that is covered in the Mass General laws for general elections. So there are some of those procedures that we really wouldn't have the authority to change necessarily.
Okay, Mr.
And now for the layman's explanation is, basically, if you're just going to have that one change from 50 to 100 signatures, you'd probably want to do a home rule petition to the legislature. But if it was a more wide-open discussion of different types of changes, more than one, then that would be a charter commission that would be elected by the general public.
Okay, so in home rule petition, that's fairly easy, right? Now, does that go for a vote in front of the whole delegation or the whole House of Representatives, Mr. Manager, just out of curiosity?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if you decided to do it by special act, it would be just like any home rule petition. It would be forwarded to the legislature to file, and then both the House and the Senate would debate it, and they'd have to pass it, and the governor would have to sign it.
Okay, all right. That's fairly painless. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, and Madam Solicitor.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Marcia?
Then it seems simple enough to file a home rule petition for two issues: the number of signatures from 50 to 150, and the number of candidates from 19 to 25. How hard is that? So that might be a motion for the new year.
I'm ready to second it right now, Councilor.
And, well, we can't make it now, can we? File a home, no, we can't.
No.
All right, that's a dual motion for the new year.
Okay. Sounds good. Councilor Kennedy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the city solicitor. There is something called Section 4 of Chapter 89 of the Constitution, which speaks to changing the charter. And what that says, what Section 4 says, is that anything that's going to change the mode in which people are elected has to be done by charter commission, can't be done by special legislation or a petition to the legislature. When this came up originally, I called your office, I think you were away at that time, and spoke to whoever was going to cover the city council meeting on that evening. But I guess that's not included in your report, and I'd like to know, is there some reason why that wouldn't pertain? Would this not be changing the mode of election? If we jump from 50 to 100 signatures, or if we do anything else for that matter, wouldn't we have to do it by the Charter Commission, given Section 4 of Article 89?
Right. Well, there have been other changes that the city has enacted that arguably change the mode of election that have been done by special act. I am familiar with Section 4 and can revisit Section 4 on this issue. The only issue that was really looked at here were the number of candidates required to trigger a preliminary election.
Okay. I understand that in the past there's been occasions when the city has petitioned the legislature to forego the preliminary because of the reason that there were only that there were not that many people running in the first place in the preliminary election. But that's a one-time thing. This would be something where we'd be looking to change the charter on a permanent basis. And so I guess because of that, then I think that Section 4 maybe becomes more important than it would be in those singular instances in the past. Right.
What I was referring to were the instances where we were changing the, one was the voting age as it applied to City of Lowell residents. And that was done by special act. The other one had to do with term limits, both the imposition of term limits as well as the removal of term limits. And those also were done by special act. But again, I will certainly take another look at Section 4 and its applicability here, and whether we would just be limited to the Charter Commission, which is a very cumbersome process. In fact, it's currently being included in potential legislation to change that process and make it more simple.
Right. If we were to go with the method as it stands now, and which would be a charter commission, which would have to be elected, and so it's besides being it's a lengthy process as well, isn't it? It would take a couple of cycles, election cycles, in order to get to any meaningful changes. But if we were going to do that, the Charter Commission, they would have the ability to make any changes at all that they saw fit, right? In other words, their scope would be very broad, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be narrowed to just, let's take a look at whether or not we want 100 signatures.
Right. Their scope, however, I think would be somewhat limited to the issues that would have first opened the door to the Charter Commission, because the first question that is raised to voters is whether to change the charter, and there'd have to be some understanding as to the ways in which it was being proposed or potentially explored as to how the charter was going to be changed. So they may be somewhat limited in terms of the types of issues that once created, the Charter Commission is then capable of addressing. And certainly, the real intent is to be looking at some defined issues. As to how far beyond that they can go, while it's not addressed in the report, as I'm looking at Section 4, I can take a look at that issue as well, the breadth.
Okay. Are you suggesting that it could be that if there was a Charter Commission that was elected, that the Charter Commission would not be able to look at whether or not ward councilors made sense, or strong mayor government made sense, or a host of other options in addition to changing the criteria for the preliminary election?
Right. That's what I would want to be very careful about in terms of their scope.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Further discussion on this motion response? Seeing none, we'll move on to motion informational response from the city manager. The first is E Local 1705 settlement overtime dispute. Councilor Mercia.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the city manager. Mr. Manager, a formal agreement has been reached. Yes?
Yes.
Are both parties satisfied?
Yes.
Okay, amen.
Anything further on the informational response? Seeing none, move on to motion response F, Lowell Telecommunications Corporation. Comments? Seeing none, we'll move on.
I have a comment.
I'm sorry, Council Martin.
So, so in the city council appointees, I believe we have 6 appointees, and I think, the 6th person is, I think, by rule of LTC, the chairman of our subcommittee on cable TV or telecommunications technology, whatever we happen to call it. So that, whoever that person ends up being, I think will end up being the 6th appointee, just by the rule of LTC. So just to bring people aware of that, I've served in that role for a few years now, and people may have lost sight of that. So that's all.
Good. Thank you, Councilor. Anything further on motion response F? Seeing none, we'll move on to motion response G, Distinguished Budget Award FY16. Mr. Manager, anything on this?
Yes, thank you very much. This is, I think I'm very proud to present this. This certainly isn't something I deserve recognition for, but the finance team deserves recognition for. Is that this is the first time in the city's history that we have received the Government Finance Officers Association's Distinguished Budget Presentation for fiscal year 17. The GFOA award is the only national award in governmental budgeting. The City of Lowell was rated outstanding in 14 of 31 subcategories, including financial planning, fiscal policies, debt forecasting, strategic goals, performance measures, and communication. Each year in the past, the city has submitted their budget for review and consideration of this award. And as I said, this is the first time in the history of the city that we've received this award. And I'd like to congratulate our finance team, Connor Baldwin, Bob Healy, and Rodney Conley for the amount of time and effort they put into the budget. And also special thanks to Moran Fernandez and Nick Navin for their hard work on the budget. I know you remember I know a lot of councilors made comments during the budget session about the new format and the explanations and how great it was, and credit goes to the finance team for receiving this award. Congratulations.
I actually thought it was Henry Marchand and his magic tricks.
Okay, anything further on motion responses and informational? Seeing none, motion to accept and place on file by Councilor Rourke, seconded by Councilor Samaras. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Seeing it's after the hour of 7 o'clock, we will go to our general public hearings that have been advertised. The first public hearing is an ordinance amending the zoning to extend NB zone to include 8 and 20 Stockbridge Ave and 9 Magnolia Street. We'll now open up this portion of the public hearing for anyone wishing to speak in favor. Anyone in favor? Anyone in favor? I'd like to entertain a motion to continue this hearing till January 12th. Motion by Council Milonazo, seconded by Council Mercia. All those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed? Motion passes. It's continued till January 12th. That concludes our general public hearings advertised. We'll move on to votes from the city manager. The first vote is to authorize the city manager to execute a license agreement with Patricia Donahue, doing business as Gallery Z, 167 Market Street. This is for an overhanging sign. Motion to waive the full reading by Council Belanger, seconded by Council Kennedy. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed. Motion carries. Second reading is by title, and City Council is a vote authorizing the city manager to enter a license agreement with Patricia Donahue, doing business as Gallery Z, to encroach upon the City of Lowell property at 167 Market Street, Lowell, Massachusetts. What is the wish of the body? Move to approve by Council Martin, second by Council Leahy. Any further discussion on this? Roll call.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milonazo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas. Motion passes. Next item, 6.2. This is a vote to transfer $16,000 from development services to cover travel reimbursements for FY. This says FY 15-16. I need to entertain a motion to strike the FY 15 and make it FY 16. Clerk corrected me. Strike FY 15 and 16. Motion by Council Mercia, second by Council Leahy, to strike that language. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye, and the opposed, motion passes. So the second reading, motion to waive the full reading for the second reading by Council Mercia, second by Council Milonazo. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and the opposed, motion carries. Second reading by title. In City Council, City Council is a vote in order to transfer $16,000 to cover travel reimbursement for the Department of Planning and Development, Division of Development Services. Questions, comments? Motion has been made.
No motion yet.
Motion to approve by Council Rourke, seconded by Council Samaras. Further discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Elliott.
Yes.
Council Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Leahy.
Yes.
Council Martin.
Yes.
Council Mercia.
Yes.
Council Milonazo.
Yes.
Council Rourke.
Yes.
Council Samaras.
Yes.
Council Belanger.
Yes.
9 yeas.
9 yeas. Transfer is approved. That concludes votes from the city manager. We'll now move on to reports, subcommittee reports. There was a substance abuse subcommittee report this evening, December 15th. I'd like to recognize the chairman of that subcommittee, Council Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Substance Abuse Subcommittee held a public hearing this evening at 5:30, and it was well attended. Speaking of which, we had Lowell High Headmaster Brian Martin, Fire Chief Jeff Winwood, Middlesex Community College Representative Terry Downs, Health Director Joanne Keegan, City Manager Murphy, School Committee-elect Bobby Gignac, John Kelly from Trinity Ambulance, Katie Sheridan from Lowell High School, and Councilor Samaras was there as well. But there was some great dialogue this evening. We received a report from Trinity Ambulance, which has up-to-the-minute data on the overdoses at Plague City to this day, and it's very, very accurate information that detailed the last October and November. The overdoses, how they still continue to plague our city, and there's no doubt we're still in the midst of a crisis, and much work needs to be done. October, we averaged nearly 5 overdoses a day at 4.6. That's the highest figure we've seen to date. But on the flip side, November, it went back down to 3.2, and let's hope this trend continues. But there was some great dialogue. Fire Chief Winwood is partnering up with Police Chief Taylor about a pilot program to follow up, similar to what Gloucester's Angels program is doing, to follow up with those who suffer from an opiate overdose, to follow up, to find treatment and to find beds for them, not just let them go back out to the street aimlessly with no direction. So we're going to see, in about 30 days from now, see a pilot program from the 2 department heads there. Looking forward to that. Headmaster Brian Martin also is going to come forward in January with a pilot program on how to mandate opiate abuse education into the curriculum. And Lowell will be among the first in the Commonwealth to do so. It's there to a point. It's there. Lowell High is doing all they can through Headmaster Martin's leadership. But we're looking for something that's a bit stronger and some more legs that's mandated into the curriculum. And he's going to be coming out with a pilot program in January on how we can achieve this, along with some funding that we're going to acquire through Kerry Detremont and the Greater Lowell Health Alliance. There is a lot of money been released, almost $30 million to fight this, and we are going to be going after some grant money for training purposes to put this into the curriculum. So a lot needs to be done, but it was a very positive meeting, and we're hoping that, in September, that it could very much be a reality that opiate education is into the curriculum in the Lowell school system. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed and work diligently so that's achieved, as well as getting this monthly statistic down to the best of our ability. So that's going to be the goal in 2016, but we're going to certainly be getting off on the right foot in January, Mr. Mayor. So thank you very much for the chance to update.
Thank you, Council Belanger. Council Mercia.
I just wanted to add, I don't know if the chairman mentioned this, but Headmaster Martin said that he would like to come back again in 30 days with the draft as to what and how the public schools will proceed with a plan in place. So that's what he had asked, and we thought that was a good idea in terms of what is available, what monies are available, what grants are available, what the timeline would be. He named a number of things, and I thought that his plan was fine, and so we'll have another meeting within 30 days, and he will bring in a plan to proceed forward. We do know that Mrs. Janine Durkin was not here, but they mentioned that some ways that they're helping out in the school system already is there is a pilot program for Healthy Choice program in the 4th grade, but three of the schools that have 4th grades are already starting that. So it's a start, and I look forward to it continuing and growing. This is important. Of course, they talked about how would they be able to fit it in their schedule already, because I guess they're filled up. But I think there's always a way to initiate, to slide it in there. It's important. So that was a very good update. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Mercia. Councilor Leahy.
Thank you. Through you to the chairman. Headmaster Martin spoke. Was the superintendent of schools here?
Counsel, your question, he was not. I believe he was reached out to through the manager's office and other outlets, and I don't believe we even had a response.
Okay.
But he was not on.
As Councilor Mercia said, I'd like to hear what his plans are, because this needs to be put into the curriculum, and it shouldn't be a difficult task. I know that there's a lot to do, but this is a very important issue, and we need to find a way to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Leahy. Councilor Belanger.
Thank you. I thank Councilor Leahy for his concern. I share his sentiment. It is important the superintendent be part of this team, and I don't know, but he wasn't here this evening, but he will be reached out for our January meeting, and hopefully that he'll be attending that. But and Councilor Mercia does stand correct that Headmaster Martin will be back. Thank you for reiterating that he'll be back with a pilot program on how to achieve this into the curriculum. And Mr. Mayor, to you, I just want to make an announcement how we had our first meeting last Tuesday of the Mayor's Opiate Abuse Task Force. That was very productive as well, made up of city leaders, elected officials, school department, police, fire, concerned citizens, people, ordinary people who have experienced this are also on this as well, which is important. But that task force will continue its progress in January as well. So Lowell is doing all it can on this front to fight this crisis that still continues to hit our city very hard. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Belanger. Anything further on this subcommittee report? Seeing none, motion to accept the report as a report of progress and place on file by Councilor Mercia, seconded by Councilor Milanazzo. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. That concludes. Anything else under reports? Meetings coming up. Councilor Martin.
Thank you. Mayor Elliott was kind enough to share with me this announcement that came out with a group of mayors around Massachusetts, and actually it's expanded beyond Massachusetts now, but a program for mayors to speak out on anti-Semitism was something that was celebrated in conjunction with Human Rights Day, the 67th anniversary of the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights at the United Nations. So virtually all the mayors in Massachusetts participated. A former colleague of mine made me aware of this, and I made the mayor aware of it, and he was happy to participate. This is an ad of, I guess, in the Boston Globe of all the mayors who participated. Mayor Walsh from Boston, Mayor Elliott from Lowell, and also I'd like to recognize the contribution of Mayor William Martin from Greenfield, Massachusetts, who I don't know, but he sounds like a great guy.
Thank you, Councilor. You did bring that to my attention. You spearheaded the effort, during your tenure, and I thought it was important that we let our Jewish residents know that we support that effort. Anything further on reports? Seeing none, we'll move to the next section. We have a wire inspection report. We have from Comcast, it's a request for installation of a new vault and conduit at 59 Technology Drive. Need a motion to accept and adopt the accompanying report by Councilor Leahy, seconded by Councilor Kennedy. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. That concludes reports. Now move on to Section A. We have City Council motions. The first motion of the evening by Councilor Martin. Request City Manager have Property Department establish a Veterans Memorial for James Sweeney in the St. James Street area. Second by Councilor Mercia. Councilor Martin.
Thank you. I believe I started this process with Mr. LaMarche a few years ago. I know we have certain criteria that veterans memorials need to meet now, but I do think this one, I think James Sweeney won the Navy Cross, which I think is one of the qualifying criteria. It kind of, I think, sputtered out. We were trying to get it done for a family reunion at a certain time of year, and that just couldn't happen in time. But I do think it's appropriate. He is from the St. James Street area. I don't know what else is named there, but wanted this to not fall through the cracks again. So I know Mr. LaMarche did what he was supposed to do, and I'm sure he could revive these efforts.
Thank you, Councilor. Motion. Further discussion on this motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Next motion of the evening by Councilor Rourke. Request city manager provide a report regarding private companies who are delinquent with paying for public safety details. Second by Councilor Malinowski. Councilor Rourke?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through to the manager. Basically, it speaks for itself. I think there'll be probably a lot more discussion once we get the response than is now. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further comments on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next motion of the evening by Councilor Mercia. Request city manager have proper department install 2 no parking -tow area signs on both sides of the entrance at Charles Street behind Central Plaza. Second by Councilor Malinowski. Councilor Mercia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. This is a motion that came from the owners of the Central Plaza, Jim and Effie Dragon. These people have been unbelievably supportive of the city. Whenever there's an event or something, they contribute, and they've never asked for anything in all these years. But if you look at the Central Plaza and how well it's kept up, they have a black chain link fence all around the back of it, except when you get to the middle of the property, which is on Charles Street. They have dumpsters and a loading dock, and it seems that cars park right up against their entrance, and when the truck was making a turn, he kind of couldn't do anything to get out, but he sideswiped one of the vehicles. And so in an effort to not let that happen again, and I'm surprised it didn't happen other times, I talked to the parking department, and I asked, what type of a sign could I have there? Is it possible? And they went on the GPS, and they actually looked at it, and they could see how cars were right up against that entranceway. And he said that the best thing to do would be to install 2 no parking tow area signs on each side of that entrance so that they wouldn't park so close to that entrance. So if we could do that, I don't think it's being too unrealistic, because we're trying to help out a business person that owns all that property, that keeps it very clean and never asks for anything, and it makes sense to help them. So that's my motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Mercia. Further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next motion of the evening by Councilor Samaras. Request city manager have appropriate staff review the UMass Lowell bus routes in East Pawtuckaville area. Second by Councilor Rourke. Councilor Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. Mr. Manager, this motion comes from the Pawtuckaville Neighborhood Association. There is a concern that the university shuttle buses may not be following the assigned routes. Buses seem to be going down other streets to make up time. So my request is simple, that we contact the university staff regarding busing and see if this can be looked at into. It's just a concern that they have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed, that motion passes as well. Next motion, 8.5 by Councilor Samaras. Request city manager have appropriate staff assess the increase in the number of double poles in East Pawtuckaville area. Second by Councilor Belanger. Councilor Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. Again, Mr. Manager, this is from the East Pawtuckaville Association. There is a concern that double poles seem to be growing in that area, or more so, but actually, their actual concern is that some of the poles are starting to look like erector sets. That's the only description I can give. They brought pictures to the meeting of different poles with extension of other equipment, and their concern is that it looks potentially dangerous. So if that can be looked into, I have some of the addresses of those areas, but it is a concern. And when I saw some of the pictures, the only thing I could think of was a 10-year-old with erector set pieces going everywhere, and that's nothing I've seen anywhere else in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Yes, thank you, but it would help if you gave us the addresses. That way we can point them
I'll
out to
provide that.
National
Thank you.
Grid.
Thank you. Further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. And the opposed, that motion passes as well. Last motion of the evening by Council Samaras, request city manager have appropriate staff assess the need to repair sidewalks on Belmont and Mansour Ave. Second by Council Milonazo. Council Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. This, Mr. Manager, is a request to have the appropriate staff look at conditions of sidewalks on Mansour and Belmont Street. Conditions seem to exist that make walking somewhat difficult. And in checking this issue, I did find that some of the sidewalks were developed or built in the WPA days, a little before my time. So just like to have somebody look into this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Samaras. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. And the opposed, that motion passes. That concludes the business before the City Council this evening. Before we adjourn, it is customary, this will be our last meeting because next week is, we enter the holiday season and we have canceled both meetings, so it is customary in this chamber to recognize and honor those members, those outgoing members who have concluded their service in this term. So with that, Councilor Martin will, this will be his last meeting as well. So with that, members of the council. Councilor Marcia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do know that many years ago, we go back a long ways, Councilor Martin and I almost became, it's like family because so many years we've been together here. And I just wanted to say that you've done an outstanding job. I really appreciate serving with you. It's a little bit sad to see that this is your last meeting and we won't serve again. But you've been a credit to the city. You've done a remarkable job. And there were times I didn't say anything, but when I was wondering, how am I going to vote on this? I listened to your expertise, your legal approach to the different situations, and I voted similar to what you would say. So I took great stock into what you said about different projects and things. So I really admired your input as a professional and as an attorney to know the legal aspect of it. So I just wanted to throw that in and say that all these years was a great time serving with you. I was honored to be your colleague, and I'll miss you.
Thank you. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Council. Councilor Milonazo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, to follow up on Councilor Mercia's comments, I too have enjoyed serving with former Mayor Bill Martin, current City Councilor Bill Martin. I certainly appreciated his guidance over the years. As we have often done, we've taken some tough votes, and I've often looked to Bill for his guidance. He's very thoughtful in his approach to decisions, articulate, and he often served as the voice of reason in these chambers. So I, too, want to just echo that I'm going to miss his presence here in the chamber, and I certainly enjoyed serving with Bill over the last 12 years.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you, Councilor Milonazo. Councilor Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, like my colleagues, congratulate you and thank you for your years of service. You had multiple freshman councilors on this council. I think that these last 2 years, you've shown us the proper way to act at council meetings. And not only speaking for myself, but for others, I want to thank you for your advice and just showing us the way that things should be done. So best of luck in the future, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Rourke. Councilor Samaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. I want to reissue the words said by Councilor Rourke. There are several of us that are, we'll say, newbies here, and to have you here to guide us has been very helpful. As a council member, I'm sorry to see you leaving. Bill, what I've seen is your calm manner and your willingness to do what you believe in that's right. I mean, does show through at every meeting. But I'd like to say also, as the former headmaster of Lowell High School, when you served as mayor, the one thing I could count on was your help. The only question you ever asked me was, what can I do to help? And as any administrator working in this city, that's what we need to be able to do our job. The political force is willing to support what we need, and you are always there for the high school students. I strongly appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council Samaras. Council Belanger.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to add to my colleague's sentiment that the outstanding job Bill Martin did as a public servant to the city of Lowell. Bill was very much a voice of reason. I've only served one term with him, as we know, but I've watched for years. And Billy always was an even keel, spoke when basically he had something to add. And, maybe I'll be like that someday. I don't know. But when he spoke, it had meaning and it had fact, and you had to listen. And I always did. Billy, I learned from you. I leaned on you on occasions. You may not know it, but I have. And I think this council job would have been yours as long as you wanted to do so, and you opted not to. I wish you the very best in your future endeavors. I thank you for your service to the city, and I look forward to your continued friendship. Thank you, and good luck to you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Belanger. Council Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I had the privilege of serving with Council Martin for 2 terms, 4 years. And during this stint and my last stint on the city council, I probably served with more than 24 city councilors altogether, and certainly Council Martin is one of the best. Unlike maybe some other people, I'll still probably run into him because we're neighbors. We live right down the street from one another. But I don't know if it's occurred to anybody, but it has crossed my mind that the next city council, for probably the first time in a long, long time, going back probably before 1950, will be without an attorney. Almost always on this city council, there's been at least one attorney, but next term, there won't be any. And I think that you have to go back, way back, before you can find a city council that has no attorney. That might be a job for your historian, Mr. Manager. He could probably work on that over the holidays. But anyways, to Council Martin, I wish him all the best, and hopefully after a 2-year hiatus, he may decide that it's time to come back. We'll see. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Kennedy. Councilor Leahy.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to Councilor Martin also. Are you going to plan another run? Not sure yet.
Charter Commission.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But thank you for your service over the years. I got to serve with you on the school committee as well. That was a great team, Martin and Leahy, as it was Elliott and Leahy this time. So, but thank you for your years of service, and good luck to you, and best for your family. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Leahy. And before we recognize you, Councilor Martin, I would also like to, we served together for many years. We tackled many issues in the 16 years that you served as a city council. I have to tell you, I respect your dedication to the city, certainly the many years of service that you gave to the Conservation Commission, which at times can be a thankless job, and then your tenure as the city councilor and certainly as mayor. And I think whether it was initiating the 2 for Lowell program or spearheading the many economic development issues, you brought passion, you brought intellect to this city council for the betterment of the city. I know you certainly may not miss certain things, and I'm sure you still have fond memories of debating the Patriot Act right here on the floor of the city council. But I have to tell you, before I was sworn in last year, you gave me a gift, and I saved it till tonight. And the gift was Rodney Strong, a bottle of wine. And I tell you, in hindsight, 2 years later, I know there was a subliminal message when you gave it to me in the cloakroom just before I was sworn in and told me I was going to need it, how true a statement that was. And, and after 2 years of mayor, I have a better understanding of the significance of that gift. So I wish you well, and in celebration, while I got Rodney Strong, you're going to get something to celebrate, and that is Martin Martini, actually.
Oh.
So we wish you well. We thank you for your service. We know we know you'll be continued to be involved as you have been in sitting on boards and committees, and we'll still see you in so many other capacities in the city. So we thank you, and we wish you the very best.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to say two more things real
Councilwoman.
quick that I was thinking as everybody was going around. I've never laughed so much with his dry sense of humor that was so hilarious. As he just said right now, he came out with some remarkable one-liners that just had us almost rolling on the floor. He's a very serious person, but he's got a sense of humor unlike anything else, as you just seen with the Charter Commission thing. But he's been doing that all these years. And the second thing I want to say is I really admired you for this, what you have done. And nobody really probably knows this, and I hope I don't embarrass you, but I want you to know, when I was the mayor, we had a little bit of money, so I hired an assistant, other than Diane Wisnowski, Diane LeMay, I hired Jade Oxton, and then over the years, when you became mayor, funds were diminished, and you had to get rid of one person in the mayor's office. You didn't just let her go. You went to John Cox and you asked, is there a place we could put this woman? She's been an asset to the city, and I don't want to see her go on the unemployment rolls. I never, ever forgot that gesture of how kind you were to this young woman, and she's wanted to go to the cemetery office, and that's where she is to this day. So she's been there, she loves it, because you thought of a human being and didn't just throw her out the door. And that touched my heart immensely, and I wanted you to know that. Thank you very much for being so kind. So we will miss you. Thank you.
So, well, let me say thank you for all those kind words. If I knew all of you felt that way about me, maybe I would have stayed. And you know, this is a little bit, I guess, like getting to speak at your own funeral, but I'm not going anywhere. So please rest assured. And a lot of people said I want to wish you well in retirement. I'm not retiring either. You know, I've got work ahead of me as far as the eyes can see. So I'm going to stay here in the city, continue to practice law, and serve on many of the organizations I've served with for many years now. So I am not going to be here in these chambers, and I'm certainly going to miss a great deal of that. So what I really want to do, though, is to really express my gratitude to the people of Lowell. You know, we all say, I think occasionally, that it's a privilege to serve, and it is, and that sometimes starts to sound trite or overused, but it really is, and it has been for me a privilege to serve, and my privilege to serve. So, and it is a very humbling feeling, I think, sometimes to be elected to office. You get elected by people who don't know you, who most of whom the people that voted for you you'll never meet. It's humbling to see the people that come out to support you. And so the whole experience, I think, is rewarding in that way. So I am grateful to the people that helped me over the years, and the people who voted for me, and the people I've had a chance to serve. I think we all like to think we leave the place better than we found it when we arrived, and I think we've certainly done that here. You know, one of the things working in a legislative group, you can't do anything by yourself. You have to work with coalitions and relationships and build relationships with colleagues. So, and nothing can happen with the vote of one counselor. So to the extent I've had any success, whether it's, you know, the Two for Lowell program that you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, or others, certainly other counselors have always contributed to that effort. And I think the city is a better place now than when I found it. I think things like budgeting that we heard about tonight is done in a vastly superior way than it was when I arrived. The way we deal with things like neighborhood issues, neighborhood preservation, constituent services, housing, zoning, public safety, and economic development. I think we've seen strides in all those areas, not to criticize the work that came before, but there's a foundation that you need to build on. And I think in my time here, I've seen that foundation built upon. I think our government here in Lowell is in very good shape. I think certainly, Mr. Manager, your administration has advanced things to a different level. I think the prior managers that I've worked with have all built on what came before them. And so when I leave here, I think the city is in very good shape, particularly the city government. I think the way we deal with the basic functions of government, with constituent services, public safety, and all the things I mentioned, I think the city delivers those things to its residents efficiently and in a first-class way. And that's part of the reason why I'm proud to live here, and I'm going to continue to live here. You know, what I see is sort of the unfinished work of what I wish I had the opportunity to do more of, is really to continue to advance and create economic opportunity for our citizens and our people here. I think the last recession hit people in Lowell hard. It seems still, for many people, it seems hard to get ahead. And in places like Lowell, sometimes it's harder than it should be. And I think that's the work that motivates us here. I think it motivates all of us. We want to see people's children have better lives than they did. I think that's sort of the fundamental American dream, and it's been the dream in this city for a long time. And I think it's something that will continue, even though it can be harder than it should be at times. If you serve in elective office, I think you have to be an optimist, and I certainly am looking forward. I think one of the things we have to be optimistic about are our public schools. I'm very proud of the work that our teachers do every day in public schools, and I think that's the one lesson that people can take as a way to get ahead, is to take advantage of the educational opportunities that the city offers. And I think if you do that, you can build a better life for yourself, for your family. That's certainly been my experience. And I think it would, I couldn't leave here without saying something about my family. You know, my grandfather, William Martin, I never knew. He died at 49, 5 years younger than I am now. He died before I was born. He worked in a drugstore. He married an orphan. My grandmother was an orphan. She died before I was born. My other grandparents ran a variety store on Whipple Street for their entire lives. And my parents did better than that generation. You know, my father had a good job at the phone company. He worked hard, but my mother worked at Prince Macaroni and raised a family. And that generation did better than the one before. You know, and their son became mayor here. So that's something that's very humbling to me. It makes me look back at the city of Lowell as a place where anybody can achieve their dreams. And so for younger people who might get wind of this message someday, I would say, you know, study hard and work hard, and you too can have success in life. And success in life is not necessarily being the mayor. It's having a family, having people around you that care about you. And so I want to thank my family. You know, my wife, Martha. I have 3 children, Bill and Dan and Jackie. They've worked very hard on campaigns. My brothers and their wives, Brian and Kevin, Mary Gail and Carol. My brother Kevin's sitting over there. I think the others probably thought the meeting was going to go a little longer, and might be watching this on TV. So, but you know, without your family, you really can't win an election, and you can't do much else in life either. So to you know, to my parents, my family, all my friends and supporters, I would start to name people, but that would be a mistake that you learn early on when you run for office. That sometimes you're better to not start picking people out because you forget. So I want to thank everybody who's been a supporter of mine, who's voted for me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve. I'm very humbled to have served. And to my colleagues who've had very kind things to say tonight, you do important work here. I think we do important work here. You've wished me well, and I wish all of you and Councilor Leary, who's going to succeed here, and members of the school committee who have served with some of those people in the past. I think the work that goes on here, not on just Tuesday and Wednesday nights, but behind the scenes and in the neighborhoods and dealing with all the issues that you get to deal with as a local elected official, are important. They make differences in people's lives. And so you making somebody's life better sometimes makes you a better person for it. And that's sort of the way I feel that it's been my privilege to serve, that if you get a chance to help somebody, it's sort of humbling to you as well. So I've enjoyed my service here. I don't want to make it sound like too preachy or a sermon, but I'll certainly enjoy the wine up there, and wish all of you well in the future. And I'm not going far, so to the extent people thought I was helpful with advice, I'll still be there to give advice. And but I'm going to try to stay away for a little while and just work at the things I've been working on. But rest assured, I'm not going away. I'm sure there'll be things about this I miss, and I may come back. I may run for office again someday. I would never say never to anything, but I think for now it's time for me to stop talking and take a break from elective office. So thanks to all of you, and thanks to the people of Lowell.
Councilor Mercia?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And having said all that, this will be your last evening as the mayor presiding over this council chamber. And I just want to say that the past 2 years have been magnificent. It was like family every night. Every time we met here, you were very gracious. You allowed people to speak. You realized that this isn't our chamber, that it's the people's chamber. You rose to the occasion. You displayed a remarkable quality that probably we didn't realize that you had. I did ask you 2 years ago, I said, I know you're the soccer coach, but you have to choose between being the mayor and being the soccer coach. And you chose to be the mayor, and you did an outstanding job. I know that we went to Cambodia. I was never so proud. You represented this city of Lowell very, very well. I was so honored to be in your presence. You've done an outstanding job. You rose to the occasion, and we're very, very proud of everything that you've done. You showed up at practically every event. It was just amazing, because, when you're the mayor, you have to be there. I mean, sometimes it's impossible to be everywhere, but you just shone. It's going to be very, very hard for the next person to fill your shoes, honest to God, because you've done an outstanding job, and you made me very proud to be a Lowellian, I'm telling you right now. And that isn't just coming from me. That's coming from all over the city, with people that come up to me in the last election and said, I really never voted for Rodney before, but I never seen this side of him, and so that is a remarkable accomplishment. You got to be very, very proud. You made your family proud, and I just am glad to call you not just the mayor, but my friend. You're a wonderful guy, and we went back a long, long ways. We were there from the very beginning when we met at, I want to say it wasn't Top Donut then, but it was like Tony's, right? And we met there, like 7 of us, trying to figure out what strategy, what we were going to do. And you didn't make it, and I did, and it broke my heart. I said, please don't give up. You'll be there one day. And the next time you came back, you made it. and I was just so happy. It was like rooting for my son. I'm just so very proud of you, Rodney. Thank you for your 2 years of dedicated service. And I might say, you picked a remarkable woman in that office. Celine, there's nobody like her. She's remarkable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council Mercia. Appreciate that. Council Milonazo.
Thank you. I too want to thank you, Mayor Elliott. The last 2 years, you did an outstanding job as our mayor. It's a vote that I'm very proud that I took 2 years ago. You and I serve on the Lowell Plan Board, and I have to say that your involvement with the Lowell Plan and the business community was highly respected and well regarded, and I want to thank you for the effort that you put in at the Lowell Plan as well. But again, as mayor, you were everywhere, and again, we had some tragedy during the last 2 years over in the Highlands, and you were the first person, or one of the first people on the scene, and you comforted people that had lost loved ones. You really was the face of this community for a number of days and weeks following that tragedy, and you just did an outstanding job, and I was very proud that you were our mayor during some very difficult times. And then running the council meetings here, as Councilor Mercia said, you just did an outstanding job, and I know that you are a man of conviction, and that some of your positions that you steadfastly believe in, and I respect, you were able to maintain those positions as mayor, and I think the community is better served for that. And again, I want to thank you and your family. I see your lovely wife Laurie here. Again, it's a sacrifice on the family to be the mayor, but again, you did an outstanding job here in the council chambers as well as the school committee. So again, thank you for your service over the last 2 years.
Thank you, Councilman Milonazo. It was a pleasure to join you at those Lowell Plan meetings. Councilor Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Upon my election to the city council, taking many votes, and I think none have been more important than the first one that I took, and that was putting you in the mayor's chair. Early on in our council's term, we dealt with many challenges and adversity that you not only led this council but the city through. You've treated the position with honor and respect. I hope you are satisfied with the job you've done as the council is and as the city is, because you've been outstanding. One of the best mayors, certainly in my time of voting in the city of Lowell, and I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Rourke. I appreciate that very much. Councilor Smaras.
Thank you, Mayor Elliott. And as all of us would state, an important vote that we took was voting for you to be mayor. When I think about your administration and what's been going on, I go back to certain things, and one of the names I remember is Pat Mogan. Pat Mogan would often say to us, whatever you do, you have to work to take whatever you're doing to the next level, whatever that meant. And I've gotten to understand that a little more in watching you do your work. You help to take the city council and this city to the next level, which is very, very important. But to me, one of the most important things that you have done is to work in the minority community. We talk about Lowell being an inclusive place, but sometimes that's talk. But your actions, showing up at the flag raisings, but the thing is not that you just showed up at the flag raisings, but you always had something to say that just wasn't in the book. It was about people. And that is something that is very important. So you have made this an inclusive city. And we are at that next level, and I think Lowell has a future, and you can honestly say that you had a major part in making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Maras, very much. Council Belangi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to share the sentiment of my colleagues, Mr. Mayor, to reflect on your previous 2 years. As I think back, when I announced I was going to run for city council, I endorsed you way early prior to the election, and that's when I did not really even know you that well. But you know what? I know who you were on this council floor and what you were and the outstanding public servant that you were. You were the fiscal watchdog. You constantly asked questions, and you voiced your opinion very clearly, and I always admired that in you. So I saw it. To me, you were the clear choice, and you did not let me down for a second. I'll tell you, not to mention the every flag raising and ribbon cutting you've attended. But what stands out is, as Councilor Milanazzo mentioned, was that frightful day of the Branch Street fires of July of 2014, where, I got back to the city. I was at the beach, and my first stop was your office, and where Celine quickly informed me you were on the scene. So I immediately went down there and approached you, and just you were absolutely delirious. You were there since 5 in the morning. You were not really even sure where you were. You were battle fatigued. You stunk of a bonfire, and really, you on that day you sacrificed your body for your constituents. You really did, and that forever stuck with me. And but it didn't end there. For months and weeks, you worked very hard for those families to relocate them. They made sure each and every one of them was situated. And you will forever be adored for the Cambodian community for that, and rightfully so. But to me, you forever landscape this job description as mayor. As long as I'm an elected official, I am going to ask that of myself and my colleagues, that if you want this job, are you willing to do the performance that Rodney Elliott did in 2014 and 15, clearly. So you absolutely killed it. You really did. You represented the city in such a class, magnificent way. Really, that's going to be tough for anybody. That's no disrespect to the incoming mayor at the same time. I'd say that about myself. But thank you for your service. You did an outstanding job, and you will not be forgotten for your service, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Belanger. Thank you very much. Councilor Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You and I have known each other going back to your teenage years. They weren't my teenage years, but they were yours. And that's a long time ago for both of us. And I think that that everybody on this council realizes that you did an outstanding job, that you made everybody be proud in the way that you conducted yourself during the past 2 years. And I'm happy that you and I will be on the council for the next 2 years going forward, and hopefully for years beyond that. So I just would like to congratulate you on the job that you did for your 2 years, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilor Kennedy. Thank you very much. Councilor Leahy?
Thank you. I just want to echo the comments here. Thank you very much for the last 2 years. You really, as Councilor Belanger said, you stepped up. You did the city proud. You did your family proud. I, too, I've known you for a while, since our soccer years with our kids. They're all grown up. But, you always put 110% into everything that you do. Thank you very much. Really represented yourself in the city well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Leahy. Councilor Martin?
I've got nothing to add.
We finished the way we started.
No, I'm just kidding. So, but yeah, people, I think, though a few of us here have served as mayor, and until you do it, you really don't know what's involved. And I tell people all the time that it's pretty much every day. And that's a lot to ask for what's supposed to be a part-time position, and you've fulfilled that role well. I mean, it's apparent that you worked at it every day, and so I think we all appreciate the time and effort you put into the job. You did a good job with time you did devote to it, and more than the average mayor would have. So I think universally that's been appreciated by the people here in the city, and certainly all of us in the council feel the same way, and so do I. So congratulations on a job well done, and best wishes in the coming term.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilor Martin. I was humbled 2 years ago, as I am tonight. You're going to blink your eyes and realize 2 years have gone by. Councilor Mercer said that on swearing-in day, and it's so true. Councilor Milanazzo, Councilor Martin, Mayor Martin, you realize it. 2 years ago, I took that oath to pledge to you to honor you, the people of the city, and move the city forward, work each and every day to make Lowell a better place. I went to work on day one. Not a day went by that I didn't put my full effort into it. It was 2 wonderful and very busy years. To the people of the city, I'm ever so grateful for reelecting me and electing me to office. And to my colleagues, I continue to be humbled to be the mayor, and I'm grateful to you. Our accomplishments in the last 2 years are many, and I believe we've charted a course to move the city forward with so many projects on so many fronts, and all good things are happening in the city because we formed a team, and I was honored to be at the helm. Each member played a different role in the last 2 years to contribute to this progress. To my fellow councilors, it's been an honor to serve you as the mayor. I have to tell you, I think this is one of the hardest working councils that I've been part of. We've had more special meetings, we've had more subcommittee meetings than ever before, and each and every subcommittee has been extraordinarily active in the last 2 years, and I believe the city shows it. We made it through some good times, as was mentioned, and some hard times. We faced the worst winter in history, brought in the National Guard, and I think we all suffered with the victims of the Branch Street fire. Yet, as you mentioned, Councilman Linazzo, we raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for these victims. I think we also celebrated a lot of good times with dozens of new business openings, landmark anniversaries with the Lowell Plan and CTI and CMAA and National Parks, so many others. I think our partnerships are stronger with our businesses, our banks, our nonprofits, all of whom make this city run. We've had a few laughs along the way. We did the Ice Bucket Challenge here one day in front of City Hall. We won the dunk tank, and I've certainly St. Patrick's Day breakfasts are sometimes I won't forget. We've danced down the parades and at flag raisings. We pranced down fashion shows, and we rode in antique cars at the Great Road Race. We were serious, but we never took ourselves too serious. So I do want to thank the Lowell Sun for their support over the last 2 years, and to Mr. Campanini for his editorial endorsement. I did work tirelessly for the last 2 years to honor this position, to make it more inclusive, open, and transparent, and be a proud representative of the city. I know I've elevated the role of the mayor, but I think we've also changed the way the office operates. When I took over the office, one of my first priorities was to make sure every citizen request, every phone call, every email was responded to, and I believe we accomplished that mission. We make a lot of decisions, certainly as the mayor. My first decision was to hire a young lady that was new to City Hall, Celine Gettings. In 2 years, it was one of, if not the best decision that I made here. I didn't think there was anyone that could keep pace. My wife will attest to this, I could keep pace with my work and energy. I tend to never stop, and Celine came to learn this pretty quickly. She's here with us this evening. You're only as good as your staff, and many times we were faced with some very challenging situations. Celine, I want to thank you for your tireless effort. You're a dedicated, hardworking professional. You stood tall and cool under pressure. Your work is impeccable. You kept me on schedule. That's an achievement in itself. And with all the accomplishments this council had, they would not have been possible without you. Through it all, we kept it into perspective. We were a great team, and I can't thank you enough. Come on up. And Celine's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. She's going to be working for Councilor Kennedy. So, with that, Mr. Manager, to the employees, it's been a pleasure to see you here at City Hall. The spirit is alive here, and I'll miss seeing you on a regular basis. You made the job of mayor very enjoyable. Mr. Clerk, you make all of us look good up here. I want to thank you on a personally thank you for certainly the first few dozen meetings. You make sure that we're on track, and you and your staff are second to none, and thank you for everything that you do up here for me in the last 2 years.
Won't cry like Celine.
Mr. Manager, I can tell you're well respected here in the city and at City Hall. I have firsthand knowledge of how hard you work and how hard you work your staff. We have made great strides with your leadership. I look forward to 2 more years of hitting many milestones with you and your administration. Thank you for your friendship. I thank you for your support. And I know we're going to have 2 more great years. So thank you very much. And to my dear friend Rita, I don't know where to begin. I didn't miss very many events, but you know what? Neither did you. You and Council Belanger and others were there for me when I needed you, and I thank you. Rita, you're amazing. You're such a dedicated and hard-working counselor. Cambodia, flag raisings, greeting dignitaries, ribbon cuttings, park dedications, you name it, you were there. And I won't forget the day you and I were standing under an umbrella at Edson Cemetery in the pouring rain, dedicating a veteran stone. You're a dear friend, and I think we were quite a duo. I know it will only continue. I thank you for your support, but more importantly, I thank you for your friendship, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And finally, to my family, and especially my wife, Laurie, who is here with me this evening. The Council Martin and mentioned it. You know, as the mayor, it's you're gone a lot. It's a 7-day-a-week job, and I took this position serious. And I was out many nights and many weekends, and you kept things together. You picked up the pieces when they started to fall apart. You kept me going at times when things got a little bit challenging, and I can't thank you enough for all your support in the last 2 years. And I want to thank my 2 daughters, Caitlin and Michaela. I love you all. I'm so grateful for all your support and love during these very busy days in these last 2 years. You made this all possible. I'm a blessed man to have such a wonderful family. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for letting me serve the city as the mayor. Thank you so much. This concludes our business. I look forward to serving on the other side. Thank you. With that, this concludes our business this evening. Entertain a motion to adjourn by Councilor Mercia, seconded by Councilor Martin. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. And for the last time, this meeting stands adjourned.
Very nice.
Thanks again for your service. Have a good Christmas. Rita, have a great Christmas.
$2. Thank you.
Happy New Year.